Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited for you guys to see this tutorial. I worked really hard coming up with this design. So I told myself for this Christmas I want to come up with 3 specific tutorials for the holidays. I want a Christmas tree skirt, I want to come up with a granny stitch, meaning the 3 double crochet granny shell, stocking tutorial, and I want a wreath tutorial, as in like a little ornament Christmas wreath. But I want it to be mine. I want my tutorial. I want my pattern. So I sat down and I figured out the skirt, which I already posted. Here is my granny stitch stockings, and next Wednesday will be the ornament wreath, the wreath ornament pattern. So I am so excited because this stocking was not the easiest to come up with, because a lot of it's not easy to come up with a stocking that's a granny stitch that's not an odd toe, leg, toe, heel pattern, right? Like, because basically you're basing this off of like a sock, and it was really hard to not go that way. So I'm proud of this. I hope you enjoy this pattern. I hope you think these are just as cute as I do. I love this pattern. It is just a simple granny stitch, and yes, it does have a chain 1 between the shells, the granny shells, but it's not that big. There's not that big of a hole. It's like I say at the end of the tutorial, I tell you guys, you can put Tootsie Rolls in these, and I guarantee you the Tootsie Rolls will not, well, with my stitch, well, with my crochet tension, the yarn I'm using, the crochet hook I'm using, a Tootsie Roll will not fall through that. I will say that. Your tension, your crochet hook, the yarn you choose may not be the same. Let me just say that. Okay. So anyway, let me go into telling you the size of our stocking. Okay. So I'm going to measure from the top to the bottom. We are at, so I mean, right there, we're like a 12 3/4 of an inch. All right. And then from the heel to the toe, like 7 3/4 of an inch. But if I go from like the back actually of the heel, it kind of comes, well, I shouldn't do that one because I messed this one up. We'll pretend like you don't see that, okay? That was a prototype. We're like 7 3/4 of an inch, give or take, okay? And then on the one that we actually do in the tutorial today, yeah, it's about 8 inches, 7 3/4 of an inch. So it's a good size stocking, and actually I can put this on my leg and it fits like a sock. It's a good size stocking, all right? And what else? What else do I need to tell you? So I do go through the tutorial and explain the color changes and how to work the pattern if you're not changing color, and how to do it if you're working every row as a color change, every row not color change. You know, I go through that. Okay, so let's talk about what you're going to need. Sorry, I was reading my notes, that's why I got quiet. So I used all Red Heart Super Saver, 1 skein of each color, and that is 7 ounces, 198 grams, 364 yards, or 333 meters, and this is just a 4-weight. And I used white, cherry red, and then I don't have a label for this one, but this is patty green, which I cannot get this to look true to color in my camera. But this is patty green. It does not look like this in real life. It is a very beautiful green. All right, so get your 3 colors. You can make this whatever color you want. And now I did use a 5mm crochet hook. If you choose to use a bigger or a smaller crochet hook, that's totally up to you. You don't need a tape measure unless you want one. I do recommend a stitch marker. There are a like 2 spots throughout the pattern that you may want a stitch marker, and the only reason I used it was as a heads up to be like, hey, skip this. That's the only time I used a stitch marker, okay? a needle to weave in your ends, get you a pair of scissors, and I do want to tell you that we make the leg portion, we make the toe portion, and then we bring it together in decrease. Okay? There is one row that I promise you, there's one little double crochet right there, and then there's one little double crochet right here. That's the hardest part of the entire stocking. And I do it twice with you guys. After that, it's super simple. I promise you this is going to be so easy and you're going to love it. You're going to make hundreds of them. You're going to give everybody you know one. Okay, that is it. Get your supplies together. I'm trying to double check. Is that everything? Every time I think I say everything, somebody comments, well, what about this? What about this? And it's like, oh, I wish I didn't even think about that. All right, I'm pretty sure that's everything you guys are going to need, all right? Okay, let's get started. Okay, so to get started, we are going to start with a chain of 48. So you can tell I've already got my chain done. I didn't want to make you guys watch me get my chain done. So go ahead and I want you to go ahead and pause the video here, get your chain of 48 done, and then come back and I'm going to show you how we're going to slip stitch into our first chain without twisting our chain. So hit that pause button, get your chain of 48 done, and then come back. All right, so now that you're back, let me get my sleeves pulled up. And we are going to hold our work on our hook just like this. And I want you to run your fingers down your chain just like this. Oop. Go back to that very first chain. And I want you to take it and point your very first chain and your slip knot, point it right at your hook, just like that, and insert your hook into that first chain. If I can get in there, just like that. All right, now I'm going to get the working yarn on my hook, and I'm going to work a slip stitch and chain one. Now your yarn or your chain shouldn't be twisted. As long as you just keep your work on your yarn and slowly run your fingers through there, keep making sure your chain isn't twisted. And then once you get to that first chain in that slip knot, and then just angle your hand and turn it and point that first chain in that slip knot at your hook, and then just insert your hook. All right, so work that slip stitch and a chain one, and we're going to go right back into that first chain, the same one we just slip stitched into, with our shell. And for the purpose of this little stocking pattern, the shell is going to be 3 double crochet. So it's the granny shell. So we're going to work 3 double crochet right back into that same chain. I need to shut off a setting on my phone. It's driving me nuts. There we go. All right. 1, 2, and 3. So there's our first little granny shell. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1, skip 1, 2, 3 chains. Into that next chain, we're going to work another shell. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, skip 1, 2, 3. Into that next chain, work another granny shell. 1, 2, 3. And that is what I want you to repeat all the way around your chain. Chain 1, skip 1, 2, 3. Into that next chain, work your 3 double crochet shell. And what I do to help me from losing, what's the word I want to say, losing sight of that very next chain, is I just keep a hold of it while I'm working the 3 double crochet into that chain. So I just keep a hold of that next chain and work my 1, 2, this is my second double, 3 double, go ahead and work that chain 1, And then I can always find that very next chain. 1, 2, 3. Here's the next chain I'm working into. So I'm just keeping hold of that next one. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, skip 1, 2, 3. There's the next one I'm working into. I got the next one pinched. 1, 2, 3. Sounds like a cat just jumped off something above me. Chain 1. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys work that around. And I'm going to go ahead and finish working around my chain. And I will be right back. Get my tail out of there. When I come towards the end of my chain, okay? I will be right back. Okay, so I've repeated that around. And get back on my hook here. So I'm going to finish round 1 with the chain 1. I'm going to skip the last 1, 2, 3 chains and go right into that very first double crochet right here, right into the top. Slip stitch, chain 1, pull up a loop, and then cut my yarn. And if you are not changing color, all I want you to do is slip stitch into that next double crochet, slip stitch into that next double crochet, and then slip stitch into that chain 1 space. And I want you to make sure you're working those slip stitches in the top of those doubles nice and loose. Let me do that over again. I kind of realized I wanted you to do that after I did mine. So chain 1, or yeah, that last double, chain 1. All right, sorry about that. So loosely slip stitch to that first double crochet, and then loosely slip stitch to that next double, the next double, and then into that chain 1 space. And that will keep those slip stitches from pulling those double crochets forward and then leaving a weird lump right there in your stocking. Anyway, all right, so if you are changing color like me, we are going to chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. Of course, make sure you have plenty of tail to weave in, and then go to your next color, which is going to be green, and then into any of the chain 1 spaces. We're going to attach with a slip stitch, chain 1, scooch that to the side, and we're going to go right back into that same chain 1 space. And now for those of you that didn't change color, we're going to go right back into that chain 1 space, and for those of you that did, all of us, we're going to go right back into the same chain 1 space with the shell. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space, and we're going to work work our shell, and that is what we're going to repeat all the way around. 3 double into, oop, I got a big old knot. I'm working with a little pile of scrap right now. Okay, where was I? 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space. Oh, I forgot to mention this too. You should have 12 shells. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space. And you just repeat this all the way around. All right. Okay, so I'm going to let you work that all the way around. I'm going to work mine all the way around, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've come all the way around. Chain 1, and to end round 2, I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that double crochet right there, my very first one of round 2. And again, just like I said for round 1, if you're not changing colors, loosely just slip stitch to that second double crochet, the third double crochet, and then into that chain 1 space. But if you're going to follow along with me and we're going to change color, chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. Make sure you got plenty of tail to weave in, and pull that tail tight. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to work that same round 2. We're going to repeat that for round 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so we're going to work round 2 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to work a big chunk of it, of our stocking. All right, and then if you're working a solid piece, all I need you to do is exactly what you've been doing. Slip stitch to the first double, loosely slip stitch to the second double, loosely slip stitch to the third double, loosely slip stitch to the chain 1 space, and then follow along, just chain 1 and then work back into that chain 1 space. All right, so if you're changing color, well, I guess it's depending on which stocking you're making, right? If you're making this one, we're going red, green, white, red, green, white, red, green, white. My camera is shaking, I'm sorry. I've got to work on that. All right, and then if you're making this one, we're doing 2 rows of red, 2 rows of green, 2 rows of white, 2 rows of red, 2 rows of green, 2 rows of white. All right, okay. So I'm gonna let you guys get your next 6 rows done. I'm gonna get mine done, and I will be right back. Okay, so we are back. I just finished round 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I did go ahead and weave in my ends. I highly recommend you do that as you go. It is a bit of a pain in the butt once you get so far to flip it inside out and weave in all those ends. So for round 9, we are going to, let's see, what color am I on? Red, green, white, red, green, white, red, green. I'm on white. We are going to attach our new color with the slip stitch. Sorry about that. Let me turn down my computer real quick. All right. Anywhere you want to. If you are not changing color, whatever chain 1 space you're in, go ahead and chain 1. And we're going to work round 9 is worked exactly like all the other rounds until the last part. So go ahead and work round 9 just like you have been. We work our shell, our 3 double crochet, chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space, and I'm going to let you guys work this round 9, just like we have been. Just don't work that last shell, okay? Getting some slack here. Go ahead and work your round 9 just like you have, and I will meet you when I get to my last chain 1 space. Like I said, don't work that shell. I'll meet you when I get there, okay? I will be right back. Okay, so I come all the way around into this last chain 1 space. We're going to work 2 double crochet. Don't chain 1, and then come over and slip stitch to that first double crochet to end the round. So what we're doing is we're decreasing. I'm going to go ahead and chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut to end the round, so I can finish that. Now I'm going to tell you guys what we're doing. What we're doing is we're decreasing the round to kind of, let's see if I can show you on this one, to kind of start narrowing the leg of the stocking. So we went from 12 shells to 11. So if we count this as 1 shell, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right. So that was round 9. Now what I want you to do is get to your next color. If you're not changing colors, what I want you to do, get back over here. Where was I? Don't chain 1, just slip stitch to that first double, and then go ahead and slip stitch to the next, to the next, to the next, and get into that chain 1 space. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my next color, which is my red, right? Yep. Get into my red, and I'm going to go into any of my chain 1 spaces, and I'm going to attach with the slip stitch, chain 1, and I am just going to go in with my shell, 2, 3, and this is round 10. We're going to work round 10 and 11. We're going to work our shell, chain 1, shell, chain 1 all the way around, but we want to make sure that we skip this. This is 1 shell, okay? It's going to look like 2, but this is 1, so we're going to make sure that we skip this. So if you want to, you can get a stitch marker and mark this and be like, hey, this is 1. We do not work into this. All right? Make sure I got 3. Nope, look at that. I did 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get out of there. 1 double, 2 double, 3 double. Chain 1, jump to the next chain 1 space. So this is round 10. Okay, so just work your normal shell chain 1 all the way around, and I will go ahead and come back when I work this shell right here, and I'll come back just to be like, hey, don't forget, we got to skip this, all right? So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm right before that stitch marker. So right here, I've got 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then I've got that bright stitch marker going, hey, that's not a chain 1, that's a whole granny shell that we're going to jump right over. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and now I go to my first double, and that is the end of round 10. Chain 1, pull up a loop for mine. Remember, if you're not changing color, just slip stitch over to that next chain 1 space. So again, we should still have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good deal. Okay, so that was round 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Woohoo! We're on track. So what's my next color? Red, green, white, red, green, white, red, green, white, red. Now I'm on green. Okay, so for round 11, we're going to do an easy round. We're just going to work the shell chain 1 all the way around, making sure we still have 11 shells. So if you're not changing color, just work your normal round. If you did change color, attach your new color as before, and just work your normal pattern around, okay? And this is round 11, so I'm gonna let you work that. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go ahead and work mine off camera, and I will get mine done, and I will be right back. All right, still making sure you have 11 shells, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished round 11, and I went ahead and weaved in all my ends again. So now we are going to work round 12, and we're going to decrease again the shells to 10. So I am back to white. So I'm going to attach anywhere, And if you aren't changing colors, just go ahead. And if you remember, it's that we start the round the exact same. The only difference is how we end the round. So you can go ahead and work round, it's 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, round 12. You can go ahead and work it the exact same that we have every other round. It's the way we end it. So you just chain 1, work your shell. If you're attaching a new color, you just attach with a slip stitch. Chain 1, work your shell. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, jump to that next chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, jump over to the next chain 1, and so on. Work that all the way around, and I will meet you at the last chain 1 space. All right, okay, just don't work into that last chain 1 space. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and just like before, into the last chain 1 space, we are only going to work 2 double, and don't chain 1, and we're going to go straight to that first double crochet, which I realize is a little hard to see with this white yarn, and slip stitch. Chain 1, pull up a loop if you're cutting your yarn or changing color. And if you didn't change color, just go ahead and slip stitch over. And now I'm going to go ahead and get that stitch marker. Where'd that go? Right here. And I'm going to mark that to be like, hey, that is one whole shell right there. Alright, so now we should have 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woohoo! Alright. Red, green, white, red, green, white, red, green, white, red, green, white. So I'm back to red. Now we are going to work 2 rounds of just granny shells. And then after those 2 rounds, we will be done with the leg portion, and then we're going to go on to the toe portion. All right, so just like before, attach wherever you want to, and if you didn't attach, just slip stitch over to that next chain 1 space, chain 1, and start your round with just working shells. This is round, what round is this? 13? 14? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, get in there. With a slip stitch, chain 1, and then go in there with your shell. Oop, oop, oop. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 and start your next shell. All right, I'm going to go ahead and work this all the way around, and I'll see you when I get to this last double. I'll be right back. Okay, I made it around. So we're going to go into this chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Get all these tails out of the way. Jump right over, slip stitch into that double. The very first double of the round. Chain 1, pull up a loop and cut if you're changing color. If not, just go ahead and slip stitch right on over. All right, now I'm going to attach my next color, which is green. All right. Of course, I'm going to go away from there, so I'm just going to come right over here. One, 2, 3. All right, chain 1 and go ahead and work this all the way around. And earlier I told you we were going to have 14 total rounds for the leg. I was wrong. We're going to have 15. I don't know why I said that. So this should be round 14, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. After this one, we're going to have one more round. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, I am going to let you guys finish round 14, and I'm going to go ahead and let you work round 15. So for me, my round 15 will be red, red, green, white, red, green, white, red, green, white, red, green, white, red, green, white. So my last round of my leg portion of my stocking is going to be white, and you still should have 10 granny shells, all right? So I'm going to finish 14, and I'm going to go ahead and finish 15, weave in all of my ends that I've got. You guys go ahead and finish yours. Remember, if you're not changing colors, just slip stitch to that next chain 1 and go. And if you are, or even if you are not changing colors, go ahead and fasten off, all right? And weave in your ends. All right, I'm going to get mine done, and I will be right back. Okay, so I got all my ends weaved in, and the leg portion is done. So now we're going to start the toe portion. And I wanted to show you, if you guys wanted to make the solid with the colored toe and heel part, I did for the toe 1, let me count that, 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds of white, and then this stocking with the 2-row color change, I did 1, let's see, 1, 2, there's 3 rounds of that green. Okay, and then for the one that we're making for the tutorial, of course, it's just 1 round of this green for the toe. But we are going to start with a slip knot on our hook. Of course, make sure you got plenty of tail to weave in. And we're going to start with a chain of 1, 2, 3. And then into that tail, or into that first chain, we're going to work 3 double crochet. That chain 2 is not going to count as anything. 1, 2, and 3. Now I am going to mark that first double just to help me out a bit, because we're going to be packing a few stitches into that chain. All right, now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to repeat working 3 double crochet, chain 1, until we have a total of 5 chain 1 spaces. So we have 1, so we need 1, 2, 3, to work over my tail, 3, what am I doing? There's 3 double crochet, chain 1, so there's 2 chain 1s. We need 5, so I'm pulling that to make that chain 1 bigger. So 3 more double, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. So there's 1, 2, 3 chain 1s. We need 5, so let's work 1, 2, 3. There's 4 chain 1s, so another set of 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and there's our 5th double crochet, or blah, our 5th chain 1, for Pete's sake. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's our 5th one. All right, so since we're changing color every row, we only need 1 row of that green. So if you're not changing color, go ahead and slip stitch to that first double crochet, and then slip stitch to the next few double crochet, and then get to that chain 1. Yeah, get to that chain 1 space. If you are changing color, go ahead and slip stitch to that first double, chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. Okay, I'm going to pull that tail a little bit. I'm not going to pull it super tight, we'll do that later. And I'm going to go to the next color, which is going to be our white. And I know this is going to be, the color is a little different from what we're doing on the leg portion, but once the toe and the leg combine, then the colors come together, and then it starts going into sequence again. All right, so now we are going to go to white. All right, so I'm all tangled up here. Let me get my white. Get a slip knot on our hook with plenty of tail, and into that chain 1 space, any of them, doesn't matter which one. If you didn't change color, whichever one you just slip stitched into, we are going to attach with a slip stitch. All right, now all of us chain 1. We're going to go back into that chain 1 space with our shell, our 3 double, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and go back in there. I have a cat hair. Go back in there with 3 double. 1, 2, 3. So your chain 1 space should have 3 double, chain 1, 3 double. Chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space and work that same shell, chain 1, shell. So 3 double, chain 1, 3 double. Okay? 3, chain 1, scooch that over if you need to, go back in there, 2, 3, chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space, get in there, double, double, there's our first shell, chain 1, go back in there, scooch it over, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, find that next chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. All right, now we're to that last chain 1 space. I lost it. There it is. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, go in there, 1, 2, 3. Okay, chain 1, slip stitch to that first double crochet, chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. And then of course, if you didn't change color, slip stitch to the next, slip stitch to the next, and then slip stitch into that chain 1 space. Okay, and then if you are changing color, we're going to the red. So let me get my red, and then dun, 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 dun. Of course, just like always, guys, plenty of tail to weave in, and then into any of the chain 1 spaces, attach with a slip stitch, chain 1, go in there, and we're going to work our shell just like before. Sorry if my light's flashing, guys. 1, 2, 3. That is not 3. Why do I keep doing that? All right, now for this round, all we're going to do is work the chain 1 shell in each chain 1 space all the way around. And we should have, let me double check this. We should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shells all the way around our little toe. 1, 2, actually, I am not going to make you guys watch me do this. I think you can handle this one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Chain 1. Okay, I think you guys can handle this. So I'm going to go ahead and work mine off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and just finished that all the way around. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 shells, that's round 3 of our toe. So now all you need to do is work 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5 rounds of 10 shells. So it's similar to our leg. We're just, the only problem is our color sequence is different. If you're changing color every round like this one. So here is our leg, our toe, pardon me, our toe for the stocking where we're changing color every round. So if you are making this stocking, here is where I want you guys to look. So you can see our color sequence for the next 5 rounds. For round 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if you're following here, here's where I want you guys, so you can write this down. Actually, I'm going to write it down too, so I don't have to keep pulling up my stocking here. So I have round 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Round 4 is 3, 1, 2, 3. 4 is green. 5 is white. 6 is red. 7 is green. And 8 is white. All right, so now I don't have to keep referring to this stocking to know what color I've got to work to finish my toe. All right, so let's say you're doing this solid one with a different color toe and heel. If you are working this one, you need to finish 1, 2, 3, row 4 with white, and 5, 6, 7, and 8 in your solid color. And then if you're working the stocking where it's 2 rows of each color, you need to finish, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. So your toe 1, 2, and 3 is green, and then row 4 and 5 is white, 6 and 7 is white, and then you are going to work 1 row, 8 is green, right? Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3 is green, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, and 8 is green. Okay? All right, so I think after all of the work that we have done so far, you guys can finish the rest of this little toe on your own, weave in your ends, okay? And here, if you're doing every row a different color, here is the rest of your color sequence for your toe. After row 8, I will come back and we will put our little stocking together and work. How many more rows is the heel? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more rows and we're done. And it's super easy. It is super easy. I promise you guys, you're going to love how easy this comes together. I'm so excited. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back and I've got all my ends weaved in, and I did go, no I don't, sorry. I did go ahead and weave in that middle end nice and tight right there. Okay, so here is our toe and here is our leg. Now what we're going to do is we're going to attach one side and come around and around, and then we're going to decrease each of them, and I'm telling you, it is so easy. You're going to love this. All right, so let's talk about what color you're going to use. If you're going with each round one color, your next color is red. If you're doing each 2 colors, your next color is, let's see, what color is that? Where am I at here? Green. Your next color is green. Where 2 row is a color. Your next color is green, and then whatever color is for your solid. You're gonna finish whatever color your solid is. You're going to continue with your solid, and I'll tell you when you switch to your heel color, okay? All right, so since I am going with my every row is a new color, I'm going to get my red on my hook, plenty of tail to weave in, and I want you to get your leg, and anywhere on your leg, it doesn't matter. We're going to attach into the chain 1 space with a slip stitch. Chain 1, go ahead and pull that tail, and I'm going to go right back in there with 3 double crochet. My shell, basically, I should have said. Chain 1, and then what I want you to do is turn your leg over, and this is going to be like a seam-ish place, okay? So it's going to be a join where the next chain 1 on your leg and the next chain 1 on your toe is going, let me get, here, this is what I'm trying to show you. This is what we're going to do. We're going to work a double crochet in the next chain 1 of each of your toe and your leg, okay? So what I want you to do is yarn over and go through your leg, the next chain 1 on your leg, and grab your toe, and it doesn't matter where on your toe. Go straight through your toe and pull through both and work a double crochet. Just like that, okay? Chain 1. And now I want you to drop your leg and go straight to your toe only. This is all I want you to hold on to is your toe. And then just start working your shell into each chain 1 of your toe. Just like you have for the whole piece. I feel like I want to do that again. See what we did is we just created a little seam right there. So I'm going to pull that out and we're going to do it again. All right, so here's where we attached. Let me get the toe completely out of the way. Just grab your leg all right, just like we have throughout the whole pattern. We attached our red, or whatever your next color is, attach it with the slip stitch. So regardless if you're changing color or not, we attach our work with a slip stitch, chain 1, go right back in there, okay? With your shell, your 3 double crochet, and chain 1. I lost my chain 1, so I'm going to do it again. Chain 1, and now yarn over, but stop. That next chain 1 space, and I want you to grab your toe, and I want you to go through the chain 1 space on your leg and anywhere on your toe. It doesn't matter. Just grab a chain 1 space and go through there. Yarn over and pull through both of them and work a double crochet. A nice pretty double crochet. Chain 1, and now drop that leg. Let go of your leg. Grab your toe and go into the next chain 1 space on your toe, and then start working your shells like you have for the whole stocking piece. Chain 1, and we're only going to work on the toe piece now. We're going to work all the way around the toe. All right? So just let go of that leg. Let that leg flop around over there. We're only focusing on our toe, okay? So we're going to go into the next chain 1 space and work shells just like we have. 3 double, chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space. I'm a little tangled up over here. Hold on. All right. Jump to the next chain 1 space. 3 double. Chain 1, jump to the next chain 1 space. 3 double crochet. So yeah, just pretend like I weaved in that white end. Sorry about that. So shell into there. Chain 1. Get him out of the way. Still coming around that toe. I bumped my camera right there. Sorry about that. One. Ah. Three, chain 1. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. I got to pay attention because we can't go past where this double crochet is because we got to work another one real quick. So I got one more and then we're back to where that double is. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now all I want you to do is put these this little chain 1 space where we already got that double. We're just going to lay that together and we're going to work another double. Just like that. Chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space and go back to our shells. That's the hardest part. It's right there. Those 2 double crochets that we just worked, that's the hardest part throughout the entire stocking. So what we just did, I promise. The rest of it is easy peasy. All right, back to where I was. Okay. Chain 1. Finishing our shells. Chain 1. I gotta get my toe out of the way so it's easier to see. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Okay, I'm about there. Okay, one more. I was wondering how many more are there? 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and slip stitch to that first double crochet, chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. There. Now we have attached our toe to our heel. So now let me explain something real quick. So if you didn't change colors, what I want you to do is slip stitch to your next double, slip stitch to your next double, slip stitch to that chain 1 space, and then I want you to slip stitch to that double crochet, okay? Because what we're going to do now is we're going to start decreasing, and the way we decrease is by not working into the chain 1 space between or before and after that double crochet. So it's really important when you are working in the solid colors or not changing colors is to make sure that you slip stitch into that double crochet. So you're beginning and ending your row by working into that double crochet. If you're not changing colors. If you're changing colors like me, we are going to start our row always at the back of our stocking. So for instance, our stocking is always going to have, we're going to be at the back of our stocking, okay? So you can see we are not going to have a little bit of a bump on our double crochet, but like for the solid one, can you see how the double crochet right here has got a little bit of, you can tell that's where I started and ended the color work, or well, the row I should say, because I didn't change color. Does that make sense? Anyway, so if you're not changing color, slip stitch to that double crochet. Just slip stitch to the next double, the next double, into that chain 1 space, and then go to that double crochet, chain 1, double crochet back into that double, chain 1. Okay, so I got to think about this because your pattern is going to change because you are different from what you're working the same pattern. Your row is just starting different. This concept is the same. Your row is just different because you're starting different than we are. So your pattern is now you are going to chain 1, double into your double, chain 1, jump over the shell into the next chain 1, shell all the way into each chain 1 space. Just do not work into the chain 1 before and after your double crochets, okay? And that's what you're going to repeat around, and you got to make sure that you have is it 1 or 2 less shells for each round. So right now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 double crochet. I'm sorry, not double crochet, shells. And then, you know, we'll decrease. It should, I'm pretty sure it's 2. I think it's 2. Of course, I didn't write it down. No, yeah, it is. I did write it down. It's 2 double crochet every round. All right. So as long as you continue working the pattern just like we are, and I'm currently speaking to the ones that aren't changing color every round. As long as you're continuing the pattern and not working into the chain 1 spaces before and after each double crochet on each side. So remember, you got a double crochet on each side. So this chain, this chain, this chain, and this chain. You should be good, all right? So for everyone else that is changing colors every round, we are going to attach at the back of our stocking. So here's our stocking. It's going to lay, however you want it to. It doesn't matter. But we're always going to attach to the back. Okay. So let's see, what's my next color? We are now opposite of what we started with. So it's green, white, red. Green, white, red. Green, white, red. We're green. So I'm going to grab my green and I'm going to go to the back to any chain one space and attach into any of the chain one spaces with the slip stitch, chain one, and we are going to go into the chain one space and we're going to work our shell. All right. Chain one, and then of course we're going to shell into the next chain one space. Chain one. And we're going to repeat that until we get to the chain one space before the double crochet. Oh, I got to get myself some slack. So like I was telling, anyone that's working the stocking that's not changing color, we are not going to work a shell into the chain one space before the double crochet. So go ahead and shell in each chain one space, chain one, all the way to the chain one space before the double crochet. So shell, chain one, and then we're going to go ahead and double crochet into the top of that double. Chain one, jump over that chain one space and go right into that next chain one space with a shell. And that is how we decrease our heel. And we just repeat this over and over and over for the next few rounds. And just remember, when you make it all the way around to the other double crochet, don't work your shell into the chain one space before or after the other double. Got a little bit of a knot. Turn your stocking over. Chain one. Okay, so we're to the next double. So we're just going to skip this chain one space, go into that next double with a double. Am I into the, yeah, I'm into the double. Chain one, skip that chain one space, go into the next chain one space with a shell. Chain one. I ran out of yarn. Okay. And then just continue all the way. That was 4 double, not 3. Chain one. All the way around to the last chain one space. Chain one. Slip stitch to the first double crochet. I split that. Slip stitch, chain one, pull up a loop, and cut. So now we should have, and you can see better now, just exactly how that is making a 90-degree angle and it's decreasing to that heel. Now we should have, let me find where I can hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 double crochet. Good deal. Okay, so that is what you're repeating. And like I said before, I just want to make sure everybody that's not changing color, that's doing this solid portion, all you do, you should have ended again on that double crochet. So you slip, or I'm sorry, yeah, now you should end on that double crochet. So you slip stitch to the double, chain 1, double crochet back into there, chain 1, skip that double, and go right to that next chain 1 space and then work a shell. But if you're doing the solid stocking, you're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 rows around, of the solid decreasing, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 of your white. And then for the 2-row color change, you just keep following that 2-row color change. And then on the end for the heel, you just work the 1, 2, 3, the last 3 rounds of your one color. And then for the every row color change, you just keep following with me. All right. So now we go to the next color, which is, let's see. Where am I at? White, red, green. We go to white. So I'm going to come to the back, attach into any of the chain 1 spaces. Doesn't matter which one, just go into one of them, attach with a slip stitch, chain 1, scooch it over, go in there and work my shell. One, 2, 3, chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space. Chain 1, jump to the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, jump to that next chain 1 space. Dang it. Chain 1 up. So now I'm going to double into the top of that next double. Chain 1. Remember, don't work into these 2 chain 1 spaces. That's how we're decreasing. Jump to that next chain 1 space and then work my shell. Chain 1. Now continue until we're to the next double. Chain 1. Okay, just about there. Okay, so skip this chain 1 space. I'm going to go right into that double with the double. Chain 1, skip that chain 1, go into the next chain 1, work my shell, chain 1, into this chain 1 space with my shell, chain 1, the last chain 1 space, My tail's all tangled up in there. Tails. There we go. Chain 1. Slip stitch to the top of that first double right there. Chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. Okay, so now, you should have 12 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I'm sorry, 14. 14, not 12. Sorry. I skipped a row. Okay, so now we are going to go on to the color red. Right? Red? Yes. Where is... I'm working with scrap right now, so I got to pull this apart real quick. All right. Get a slip knot on my hook. So I am going to go ahead. I'm going to work this round off camera. I'm not going to make you guys watch me do this because we're doing the exact same thing we just did. But at the end of this round, we should have 12 shells. Dang it. We should have 12 shells. One, that's 3. All right, so you just repeat that, and I'll come back when I finish, and we should have 12 shells. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I have, let me pinch that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shells. So my next color is green. Let me get a strand of green, and we, after the end of this round, should have 10 shells. And I'm not going to worry about my ends right now because to finish off the entire stocking, we're going to flip it inside out. So once I do that, I will weave in all my ends. So, all right, I'm going to get my green. Again, come to the back of my stocking. Get a tail, get a slip knot on my hook. Plenty of tail to weave in. Attach with a slip stitch, chain 1, back in there with 3 double crochet, and continue just like we have been. And then, like I said, at the end of this round we should have 10. Getting closer. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so I just finished that round. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I want to apologize because I should have said, and I completely forgot, if you're doing the white heel, you should have done that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that last round that we just did, that we just finished, that should have started your white heel. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that and I didn't. I apologize, dang it. I wish I would have thought of that and I didn't. But, and if you're doing the 2 round color, the 2 round stocking, that should have been, let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should have been the last red, and then the next 3 rows are going to be your heel, same color of your heel. I apologize. I wish I didn't think about it sooner until I finished it and I was like, oh no, this is going to be the heel. This is going to be the solid heel color for the solid stocking. So I apologize. But to move on, all you have to do is just pull it out and just fix it. It won't take too much. But for the next color, we're going to go to white. Get my white here. And again, just like before, we're going to attach at the back. Anywhere at the back. Chain 1. Go back in there with your shell. Chain 1. Shell into the next chain 1 space. I'm going to go ahead and stay with you guys because we're getting pretty close. All right, so now we just jump to the chain or the double crochet, double into there, chain 1, jump to the next chain 1, shell, 2, 3, chain 1, chain 1 right here with our shell. Oh, bumped right into my camera. Chain 1. Okay, there's my double, so go straight into that double crochet. Chain 1 into the next. Chain 1. All right, slip stitch, chain 1, pull up a loop. All right, and we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can see we're just about there. All right, so now I am back to red. Okay, where is my end? So not this round, but the next round is the last one. So again, I'm just going to come to the back. Okay, attach with the slip stitch and go back in there with my shell. All right, shell into each chain 1 space until the chain 1 space before my double. Two, 3. All right, there's that double. Double into my double. Chain 1. Jump to the next double, or I mean chain 1. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Of course. Okay. One, two, three. One, two, three. Okay, here's my next double. Double into that, chain one, and back to the beginning. So I'm going to slip stitch to my very first double crochet right there. Chain one, pull up a loop, and we should have, I'm going to get all my tails out of the way. We should have, what is it, 6 this time? One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more row, and we are green this time. Get a slip knot on our hook. Go to the back, attach into any of the chain one spaces with a slip stitch. Chain one, go back in there with our shell. Chain one, shell into the next. Remember, we're just shelling into the chain one spaces that aren't before and after the double. Double into the double. Chain one, go into the next chain one space between the shell. Two, three, chain one here. Chain one. Now I'm going to go into that double. All right, chain one. And now I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that very first double crochet. Chain one, pull up a loop, and I want this tail to be a bit longer because we're going to weave it in and out of the top of these chains and doubles, and we're going to drawstring that top closed and then knot it off. All right, so you should have a total of 4 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our hand inside of here, and we're going to go all the way to the tip of this our toe, and we're going to pull it inside out. And now we can see all these tails we got to weave in. Okay, so what I want you to do is besides, where'd it go? Besides the super long tail, the very last one that we did, go ahead and weave in all of these tails, which, you know, if you do in the solid stocking, you're not going to have all of these little tails, but go ahead and weave in all of these other tails besides your final one, and we will finish off this stocking. But I'm going to get mine weaved in, and I will be right back. Okay, pardon me. Okay, so I got all those ends weaved in. Here's my long old tail, and I'm just going to get this on a needle. All right, and I'm going to go through the tops of the double crochets, the chains, and since my my chain one and that slip stitch is going this way, I'm just going to continue it this way. I'm just going to go in and out of the tops of these chains the doubles. Nothing special, nothing pretty. Nobody's gonna inspect my stitches. And if they do, I'll yank my stocking out of their hand and be like, get out of here. I'm gonna kind of keep my finger from letting the all of my tail go through. That way I know exactly where I started. Just doop, boop, boop. Just in and out, in and out. Here and here and here, and right there is where I started. Pull that tight. Nice and tight. Don't snap your yarn. But I'm going to come. So here is where my tail is coming from. See where it's coming out of the work right there? I'm going to jump straight across. And I'm just going to catch some yarn, some stitches. Just like that. I'm going to do it again. So my yarn is coming from here. So I'm going to come to this side and catch some stitches. But I'm not going to... Oop, went into that red yarn. Didn't mean to do that. But this time I'm not going to fully pull it. I'm going to leave a little bit of yarn. Run it right through there. Do it one more time. Pull it tight. And I'm going to weave this tail in. Where can I go? Where can I go? Where can I go? I'm going to come through some stitches this way. And it looks like a big old clump of double crochets right there. So I'm going to come through here. Bring it back through there. I'm going to go one more time that way. And then cut it. And get in there. Flip it right side out. Get that heel to poke out a little. And that toe. And ta-da! There is our stocking. Let me pull you guys out a bit. Actually, okay. I love this stocking. I think it's so cute. Okay, one more thing. If you want your a little hanger, here's what we're gonna do. What color? I think I'm just gonna stick with the color that I have up here. So let me grab some red yarn here. Enough tail. Oh, let me shut that off. All right. Get a slip knot on your hook, and I'm gonna go with my the toe away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the back of my stocking. So what I'm doing is I'm pinching the back, right? So I'm gonna go around a shell. So I'm gonna attach at one side of the shell, just like that. You see what I'm doing? I'm going to attach at one side with a slip stitch. And I'm going to, if I can get a hold of the right yarn, I'm going to attach with a slip stitch. And I'm going to chain 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to slip stitch on this side of the shell. Chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is with these two tails, I'm going to tie them in a knot. And weave in the tails. Where did the other there it is. Weave in the tails. And there is my hanger. So I'm going to weave both of them in at once. I need to trim one of those. Now I'm going to take both of those tails down to the shell that I worked around. And this doesn't have to be perfect, although it is a stocking, so you kind of want to make it look great, as nice as you can. Fun fact about me, I don't like daytime TV. I never have, never been a big fan of it. And my husband's watching The Price is Right. I just found that funny. Anyway, there you go. There is your hanger. And there is your stocking. Isn't it cute? We pull you back even farther. Oh, I am so happy with how these turned out. And my husband was like, well, honey, they have holes in them. Well, so? They're not that big. They're still adorable, and you can crochet a little bag to put, you know, if you're putting like little candies, like even little Tootsie Rolls. I don't think little Tootsie Rolls can fit through there. You know, the bags would keep the little, like the Tootsie Rolls, the ends of the Tootsie Rolls, like the twisted candy parts wouldn't come through those little holes. I think these are going to be just fine. Give yourselves a pat on the back because these came out absolutely stinking adorable. I'm so happy with them. You guys should be happy with yours. I hope you are. If you guys are, if you made these, in the description box, there are links to all the social medias. Hit me up on there. I want to see what you guys come up with. Follow me, all that fun stuff. My email address is down there too. You know, send me an email of your picture. I would love to see that. That makes me so happy when you guys send me emails or when you guys, you know, like, hey, Alana, I made what you designed. I want you to see it. Because trust me, I want to see it. It makes me happy. But anyway, hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't, because I got a lot more coming. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys thought. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.